ahead. Yeah,
Anyways,
go ahead.
he's currently driving Gran Turismo 7, the new TRUEFORCE wheel. Honestly, how does it feel?
It feels great.
What else?
Very authentic. The steering feel, the game, everything, and
even your driving.
Yeah, it's in the shop actually because of that. Listen, it's awesome. Very cool feedback, and the vibrations, the way it integrates with the game. It's very
and not to like
CEO.
Welcome back to the CEO channel. I'm Jabali, and this is my review of the Logitech direct drive racing wheel that came out late in 2022. That little intro you saw is actually my older brother Omar driving a 2006 Dodge Viper in Gran Turismo 7, which he actually also happens to own in real life. Before I show you everything about the direct drive wheel itself, from unboxing to setup and the experiences I've been having over the last month, I would like to thank Logitech for sponsoring this review by sending me the product for free. However, they have no say whatsoever in this review and wanted my honest thoughts and experiences shared with all of you here today. Obvious elephant in the room for people that are interested in this device. It starts at $999, which is very expensive for a gaming racing wheel, but this is their foray into the actual racing sim world, where lots of other comparative options around the same price. And then you have the $999 for the direct drive wheel and base just by itself, which is definitely for the enthusiast that plays racing games. And then you also need to decide if you want the PlayStation or Xbox version, both of which can play both games on PC as well. I went with the PlayStation version because I'm a huge Gran Turismo fan, so I've been playing that nonstop with this wheel. But then also because Xbox games are also easily available on PC through Game Pass and Xbox apps. So I've been able to play Forza Horizon 5 on there with this. But you're going to definitely need to throw down for the $350 Pro pedals as well. This is them jumping in from, what they've done before from the G series, the G29, which I actually will talk about as well a little bit, to basically full-on racing cockpits. They've got something down the line with Logitech with a chair. But, it's very comparable to all the other direct drive wheelbases. And from what I've been seeing, any direct drive wheel will, give you that experience that you're hoping for that'll take things to the next level. But with this one, Logitech having a great history of software, hardware, and putting in a really big effort. They've gone a long ways into making sure this was ready to go before it was released to the public, with a lot more to hopefully come in the future for them. I went with the PlayStation version to play Gran Turismo 7 first and foremost. So being able to play everything out of the box, you can even play Forza Horizon 5 out of the box with force feedback. And then you can also go to Logitech's website for a full list of every game that's compatible with either their TRUEFORCE or force feedback, or just able to, log in and play. Recently today, they brought back the PSP version of Ridge Racer. I tried plugging that into my PS5 to play it through PlayStation Classics. Obviously didn't work because it's PSP. They never came out with a racing wheel with that. The fact that you can change the compatibility from the Pro wheel that this is to G29 within the options menu is a really cool thing. So they kind of thought about, there might be some other games that don't have this new direct drive feedback that you still want to use the wheel for. And once you use this wheel, you have no reason to go back to the other, the cheaper options that they have available for you. So again, I've had the ever popular Logitech G29 for many years, which you can buy for around $300, $250, depending on the sale, for both the wheel and pedals. And while for any beginner or casual that wants to play racing games, the Pro wheel is hands down a major upgrade in terms of quality and feedback. So, and it's also about, and I did a comparison when I removed my old G29 from the racing rig I have. It's about a 10% or so bigger wheel by comparison, and feels even more premium with their, their leather, full leather wrapped steering wheel. It's really solid. It's not the full size of like a Ford Focus RS, which I used to own, but it's really cool just how it feels in the hand. And with that, the unboxing part, they came in two ginormous boxes. Unboxing both boxes gives you actually that real sense of quality, time, and dedication that Logitech put into the package. It is only available directly through their website, so you're not going to find it at like a brick and mortar store like a Best Buy, or receiving it in the mail through FedEx. Everything is well kept in the box. Very easy to unpackage between the wheel and the pedals, which were in separate boxes. And even the wheel, as you unbox it, the wheel was wrapped up in a little a protective case, protective bag. And then they also included a big cardboard instruction sheet on how to set everything up. So it feels like a quality package. As someone who's infused with a dedicated hardcore fighting game community in terms of using fight sticks from all kinds of brands, I kind of started digging a little into the racing sim community. And while most wondered what took Logitech so long to come out with a direct drive wheel, which again means you're feeling every bump and, you know, crash and everything within the wheel itself. You know, mostly it's hardware based, but also the software and the games have to incorporate it. But it's been getting favorable reviews from a lot of people in comparisons to the other DD wheels like the Moza that just came out, or the very well-known Fanatic line, which has so many different options. As a starting direct drive wheel, this honestly gives you that incredible feeling. And just by doing the research, everyone who's been comparing the two is like, if you're just getting into this wheel will please you just like the rest, and you'll really enjoy, and it'll get you as kind of a gateway. I think Logitech, being a bigger overall brand, will get more eyes on the racing sim community. Now, the wheelbase itself, very heavy. It's weighing in at about 15 pounds, which houses everything in this back part right here with our TRUEFORCE feedback in marketing terms and direct drive technology that gives you the feeling of every turn and bump, as I was saying. This is also their first racing wheel with a quick release feature that you literally can one-handed take off the wheel right there, you know, or, you know, hide it. If you have family members, you don't want them playing it. So, and then just put it right back on. Super easy to do. So again, it's heavy, it's a big boy, but once you place this anywhere, man, it is not going anywhere. The other ones, you know, the other G series, if you have a lot of force, you feel like you're going to move it around a lot, but with this and a good rig, or even the desk, I'll show you, it stays very firmly mounted. So, but with that quick release feature, that gives the whole idea that they're going to come out with additional wheels to swap them out, like an F1 wheel, a trucker wheel, big size wheel. So very cool to see. And then also, you know, you can tell they've been working on this wheel for many years now, because it actually still uses a micro USB port on the back, but it has a nice, you know, it's indented. It firmly fits in there. So once you plug in, you're not going to be unplugging and have anything to worry about. I expected USB-C as a standard, but again, it fits snugly, nothing to worry about. And it's about I would say a 6-foot cable to the PlayStation or your console or PC. So most likely you're not going to be very far from your console or PC. So it has more than enough room for that. And then the pedals, you know, you have a lot of give, so you can hide the wires themselves from the wheel to the pedals. And then also on the back, it leaves 2 additional USB-A ports on the base. One will be for the pedals, then you've got the power port, and then you've got the wheel itself plugging into the PlayStation. But those 2 extra ports, probably for a stick shift accessory, you know, or other racing sim accessories like a custom tachometer to take the experience even farther. I've also been told that if you actually have the old shifter from the G29 or the other ones, it uses like a parallel connector. They'll have an adapter coming soon, so you can actually use those. But I obviously hope they have as someone who's driven stick shift most of my life, hope for something that's a lot beefier and feel more professional grade to kind of put on your racing rig setup. So next are the Pro pedals. For the average user, I really wish these came with the wheel for the $9.99, so be prepared to obviously shell out that additional $3.50 to experience which they're calling load cell technology, which is basically 100 kilograms of pressure, right? Now what's cool is, you know, if you don't have strong legs or anything like that, you can change the sensitivity of this. They actually give you additional parts to take apart the cell in the back here, you know, take all these pieces out and change the springs if you want. But I like the default setting, you know, whether this is on my rig or flat on the floor, it goes great. That customizability that you can, you know, switch these around if you wanted or move them side to side. They actually have measurement lines on the bottom, and then putting it to your rig. Plenty of screw holes, you know, M screw holes. I think these are like M4s, could be wrong, to either attach it to the rig or, again, leave it on the floor. They're definitely heavy duty, and the amount of force to push that brake all the way down is something you will need to adjust to if you want that software setting as well. But again, you can also tone down the resistance, which self can customize it on the go without using PC software or anything. Is super cool. So for me, for example, I have the braking force down to like 20, so I don't have to like push super hard to brake in a game. I push like this and it gets the job done, right? And then the clutch, obviously, when they come out with additional stick shift, you'll be able to use that, but you can also use the clutch pedals on here while you're, you know, clutching and then changing gears if you wanted to. Another thing to note, the previous G wheels, you generally use socks as you think you're going to break the pedals because they feel like a toy. With these, been wearing my, you know, my sneakers. I'm a size 12 shoe. No issues at all pushing them down. It really feels almost as if you're in a real car pushing these. So now I would have liked to be able to kind of tilt how these go, you know, if you want them kind of closer to you and whatnot. But again, if you have a certain rig, it'll let you kind of do this to get what you're comfortable with. But yeah, you can wear shoes and wear them without worry. Now for setting it all up, after spending time with both my desk and the Evolution Pro rig that I recently purchased, I've got to say I'm actually a fan of using this on a desk for now until I really get an all-out racing sim in the future. But for anyone who is just diving in, like, hey, I want to try this next level, this goes perfectly on the desk. Easily moving it, a little heavy again, but even at that full 11 newton meters of feedback torque that it doesn't budge at all. And I actually have a very thin desk, a long 8-foot thin desk. But with the clamp that it comes with, it fits right into the base, quickly tightens, and then you're good to go. So no matter amount of force can move it once it's clamped, so you don't have to worry about a thing about it going anywhere. Now, also having your desk against a wall, it makes it really easy for the pedals to go on the ground because they actually made it flat on the back, so it literally pushes that. And you're just pushing up and down. You're not pushing side to side, so that thing did not move, left to right at all. When I first got the wheel, I hooked it up to my older GT Omega rig, and then recently switched over to a Racing Evolution Pro as a fan of Red Bull, if you couldn't tell, and their seat design. So looking into that. The seat itself, it doesn't feel like it's it can handle as much power as this has, but it's still good. But I'm a 6'2", 250-pound guy, so something a little bit bigger I think would be a better play for me in the future. But the clamp itself actually wouldn't work with the newer rig, the Red Bull Evolution Pro. However, they thought ahead. They gave you 3 M screw holes on the bottom, and I was able to screw one in and actually keep it, pretty sturdy and connect it to the rig itself. Now, once set up, it has everything you need directly on the wheel. You don't need to use the PC software if you don't want to. If you're somebody who doesn't PC game at all and you have just a PlayStation 5, more specifically, this is what it was, intended for with Gran Turismo 7's release. You're going to feel right at home. You can go through the menus, you push it. And at the beginning, because the older one had all the face buttons together in the diamond that you remember from controllers. But while I found myself looking down for certain buttons from time to time, the D-pad you'd usually find is replaced actually by a small little tactile stick, which gets you through all the menus just fine. Now, from there, plugging everything in as you'd expect. If you're playing PC, Logitech already has a software called the Logitech G Hub, which as soon as you plug it in, it shows the wheel itself. It shows you how to configure everything. So if you're like me and most likely playing Gran Turismo 7 or other console games, the built-in OLED HUD has all the same settings to pick and choose from that you would find from that PC software. It's super intuitive and extremely fun actually to spend as much time as you need to get everything right for your comfort playing. I'd pause a race, and then change the feedback just to see the difference of it. I went from 0 to 11. It's just a world of difference. And from the research I did, they say between like the 10 to 15 newton meters of torque on these racing rig wheels is pretty much the sweet spot. And even at 11, they suggest wearing racing gloves. I don't have gloves, but you can kind of feel it as you walk off. You're like still kind of feeling the emotion and the impact that this has on you. Now, you also have in the settings angle, how hard you turn it. It doesn't fully turn. It stops at about 1,080 degrees right there, as you can see. But being able to change those settings, brake sensitivity, like I mentioned, and much, much more, which is really cool. My favorite part is the LED accelerator. It goes from green to red to blue and all that. You can actually change it from going out to in, left to right, right to left. So having them think of that as well is a really cool feature. Now, and then my favorite thing, being someone who's actually tried as many different games as I could with this wheel, is they also let you save multiple profiles to accommodate a variety of the racing games available for it. And with specific recommended settings from their website, you're always ready to jump in and start driving. I believe it had about 5 profiles, so I was able to, set Gran Turismo 7 and name it. So when I went to Gran Turismo 7, everything was set for me to just jump in and play. Then I went to F1 to have a better turning angle, as F1 racers would. It was easy to do that, and very cool that that's something, obviously, they took their time making sure the software is ready to go and it would be super accessible. You wouldn't need a PC if you really wanted to dive into the simulation aspect of Gran Turismo 7 itself. Now, again, Logitech did everything to make this accessible and welcoming to the fans of the racing genre. If you're not a heavy sim racer, I would sum this entire experience up as a gateway to much bigger racing sims out there in the entire community, because it replicates that feeling of fun driving, but also gives you the opportunity to kind of dive into a more serious level in the future. Now, playing the games themselves and the best experiences that I had, I've spent at least about 20 hours in Gran Turismo 7 so far, finishing a lot of license tests or refinishing them now that I have this wheel, comparing it to the G29, and I had much better times. And I can say this makes GT7 a near perfect racing experience. As a huge GT fan, right, it gives you a lot of variety. You have the missions, the races. So now I also purchased and picked up as many TRUEFORCE compatible games as listed on their website. So I went from SnowRunner on PlayStation to, you know, driving the truck, and you feel, even when the car's in, you know, neutral, you feel the vibration of the engine. It's really cool. So, you know, all just from the direct drive itself. So to Grid, which is a, you know, a hardcore drift game, to Grid 2.0 as well, to Assetto Corsa. I played a bit of that, but with Grid, which with one wrong turn, obviously the wheel is going to go crazy and spin furiously. You know, I'm actually very excited. I'm looking forward to PSVR 2 coming out and the free upgrade that Gran Turismo 7 will have. I dived into a little bit of VR with my Oculus or MetaQuest 2 to play F1, and obviously it's an older headset, so that it graphically wasn't there, but I really felt like I was in the cockpit of F1 with the wheel. I didn't have to look at the wheel again. Obviously you can't see it when you're in there, but you know, as you move your head up, you can look a little bit higher above in the F1. So I thought that was really cool. But as soon as that GT7 upgrade, which comes out soon using this, you know, wheel, with that, you might not even need to buy an ultra-wide monitor like most racing rigs has if you're a Gran Turismo fan, right? Just being able to dive in. So looking forward to that. So I then actually pulled up the Xbox app, jumped into Forza Horizon 5, which, you know, used to be only an Xbox available game. Now it's available on PC through Game Pass. And I loved using the wheel because it actually still, you know, provided the force feedback, which was really cool. So between the rally races in GT7 and then the mountain, you know, the landscape in Forza Horizon 5, that moment when your car actually leaves the ground and flies over a hill or in the rally, like, it's a game changer. Like, the whole wheel just goes limp and you don't feel anything at all, as if you're actually airborne. So I thought that was a really incredible thing. And again, the direct drive experience is something everyone who's been a racing fan should experience. And, you know, price is high, but I think once you purchase this thing, you're going to get dedicated into it. You're going to find use for this. None of the parts feel cheap at all. I feel like you're going to be using this for many years to come. So my overall verdict of the Logitech Pro racing wheel and the pedals, right? Overall, I think this wheel is an incredible entry from Logitech into the higher end racing sim community. I'm seeing a lot of good feedback from a lot of other dedicated hardcore guys. But for someone like me that's not at that level of getting a full racing sim, something that, you know, rotates or moves or anything like that, I love going on this. I can't go back to the older G29 anymore. That just feels like a total toy by comparison. You know, the build quality, I think if you have the money to invest in this, you're going to be very happy with it. And again, any direct drive wheel that gives you that true force feedback and that feeling, it's something worth experiencing. But with Logitech, you know that they're going to be around, they're going to be supporting this, they're going to keep updating it. But if you're a heavy PlayStation racing user, I know the other wheels have PlayStation ones as well, but, you know, Gran Turismo 7 over the years, they've always sat down with Logitech, fine-tuned these wheels, helped them out on the software side, and just being able to use it within Gran Turismo 7 flawlessly. And then that PSVR 2 exclusive experience that will be on Gran Turismo 7, you know, on PlayStation 5 soon is, I think, going to take it to the next level. I'm going to actually do a full video on that when it comes out. But I definitely want to see this wheel do well and appear in stores, not just, you know, through Logitech directly, since their wheels have always been at brick and mortar stores, right? But lastly, there's no going back to non-direct drive style wheels for me after this. One other really cool thing from Logitech has been their Logitech G Challenge, you know, with over $150,000 in prizes, and I'm a fan of tournaments and online challenges, and I'll have that link in the description down below. It does end soon for this season, but definitely check it out. You'll kind of dive into that racing sim world, and you don't even need this wheel to enter that challenge, right? You actually have a chance to win this wheel through that, so definitely look up the Logitech G Challenge, partnered up with McLaren, one of my favorite brands of all time, and, you know, anyone can enter it, so check it out before it ends, February 20th. Also of note, I just want to add in, as a Twitch streamer on CEO Gaming, I found that the racing community, when I actually was diving into racing games on my stream, as soon as I jumped into like the GT7 license trials and everything, I had new viewers come in that either recognized me from the Twitch world or my event world and go, "Oh, you play racing sims? I didn't know that." And right away, they were telling me how to drive better. They were, you know, as we call it, backseat driving, but it was so helpful. And just telling me how all the other wheels are doing and, you know, what the best way to tune this, how to think of going into a turn. So shout outs to any of you that are watching this review that watch me stream Gran Turismo 7 or other racers. I really appreciate you guys. So it's definitely great to have more reasons to play racing games, to beat your friends times, or just enjoy, you know, doing a group race together, setting it up, picking the track and all that. So I thought that was really cool. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Again, thank you to Logitech and my friends over at Astro Gaming for sending this my way to check out. You can be definitely using it for a long time to come. And if you want to support myself and the CEO Gaming brand, we actually do have set up for a little while now an affiliate code JABAILY that can get you a small discount from your purchases through Logitech link, which I'll have in the description below. Does not work on the Pro Wheel, but depending on what you're purchasing, you'll get between a 5 to 10% discount. Obviously, some of the referrals will go to support this channel and CEO, so I really appreciate it. But guys, thank you so much. If you want to see me dive into more bigger reviews on big ticket items like this, definitely let me know in the comments how I can do better. But until next time, enjoy. And if you pick one of these up, please let me know. Or if you're considering it, if you have any questions, just leave a comment or question down below. Take care. Till next time.